Hello everyone, hope I'm audible and visible to all of you. If I am audible and visible, please you can confirm it in the comment section. So today we'll do Hindu analysis of 27th August 2025. So can you people hear me? Can you people see me? Am I audible? Am I visible? Again, if I am, and if you're not facing any issues, just give me a second. Let me even cross check it myself. Yeah, cool. So I think we are totally fine. We are good to go. Hindu analysis, 27th August 2025. Let's start the discussion. And you can connect with me on LinkedIn. My name is Shubham Sagar. You can know more about me. You can join my Telegram family, Fun Study with Shubh. So yesterday I gave two questions. The first question was this: the cruisescape system, and the what is the basic rationale? Good morning, Bulbul. The cruisescape system in ISRO's Gaganyaan mission is designed to do what? And again, if you know the answer, you can post it in the comment section. Otherwise, the cruisescape system. What is the basic purpose of cruisescape system? Chipundis. Chiputelsu ledu kadu. CES. I think it was the last article we have talked about. Good morning, GYN. It was the last article which we have talked about, or which we discussed yesterday. CES. GYN has given the answer. The answer is rapidly pull the crew module away from the launch vehicle in the case of emergency. Very good. MCQ 10. Which of the following statement regarding Vyom Mitra is correct? First statement: India's first space telescope. Second is humanoid robot developed by ISRO to simulate astronaut functions. Good morning, Rishi. And training simulator developed in Russia for Indian astronauts or Indian module for Lunar Gateway project. What is the answer of MCQ 10, which we have discussed yesterday? Chepandis. Chepandi is fast. Again, today there are so many good articles which we have to discuss. So let's have a talk regarding this. So Jivayan again has given the answer. The Vyomitra, it is a humanoid robot. Before we send the crewed mission of Gaganyaan, there will be multiple non-crewed missions. So that this Vyomitra will be going in one of those non-crewed mission, because you don't want to kill people, right? You want to have proper checks in place. Very good, Bulbul. Very good, Rishi. Good morning, Anandu. So let's start. Let's continue. The answer of both MCQ 9 and MCQ 10 is B. So let's come back to the present and let's talk about the first article of the day. And this is about cotton. This is about import duty. This is about CCI, Cotton Corporation of India. This is about MSP, minimum support price. This is about the problems plaguing the sector related to cotton. Then there are so many. We'll solve one mains question. I will give you some PYQs related to UPSC PYQs related to cotton, which has been asked earlier. Today's my special birthday, sir. Happy birthday, Rishi. So what is happening here? There is too much confusion when it comes to cotton sector, or you can say textile sector. So today Rishi bro's birthday. Oh my god, GYN, happy birthday, Rishi. So let's focus here. And Rishi is anyway awesome. So what is the issue? This import duty, this is being levied on cotton time and again. Why this import duty is being levied? If you know the basic criteria of import duty, what is import duty? So we are importing cotton from outside. We are imposing, or government is imposing some tax on it, so that our cotton, or the domestic cotton producer, they are benefited to a certain extent. But now the import duty has been suspended. So yeah, happy birthday, Rishi. God bless you, bro. Keep shining. So now let's try to understand this whole scenario. Government sometimes introduce import duty, sometimes they suspend import duty, and there has been too much unpredictability in this particular sector. Why is this happening? Why sometimes governments suspend cotton or import duty on cotton, which they have done right now? Because the demand for cotton is high right now and the produce is less, the domestic production is less. Sometimes it also happens that the international brands which are making different textiles, they prefer foreign cotton than our own indigenous cotton. So there are certain scenarios, there are multiple cases which are involved here, why there is to and fro when it comes to import duty. Then there is something known as Cotton Corporation of India. Their headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. This headquarter thing, where is the headquarter of a particular setup? UPSC will not ask you, but other exams will. So let's focus on this whole thing and whole issue. So background: cotton is the main raw material for India's textile industry, cultivated by 60 lakh farmers. But cotton has seen declining production. Why? Because the raw material cost, it is high, because the quality of foreign cotton, so to say, is preferred by our different international brands which are making textile. So there are multiple reasons which has led to decline in cotton production. You have Cotton Corporation of India. Let's say the price of cotton falls below minimum support price, then Cotton Corporation of India will buy cotton. But there is a limit up to what they can buy, right? So sometimes farmers will produce cotton, there is no one to buy it. So there has been multiple reasons why there has been decline in cotton production, which you have to keep in mind. So let's focus here again. So hope you're understanding. So import duty. Government imposed 11% import duty in February 2021 to protect domestic cotton growers. So this is again basic import duty provision. We are, imposing a tax on the imported products to protect our domestic growers, and that's what happened in 2021. At that time our production was more than demand, but if you see the current article which is there, import duty has currently been suspended. Why? Again the reverse scenario would be there. That's why the import duty has been suspended. The demand must be higher than production, and we need some amount of imported cotton, and that's why import duty has been suspended. Despite the duty, cotton imports rose significantly. We know why this happened, because of international brands preferring foreign cotton. This is one of the major reasons which you have to keep in mind. Exemptions from duty to address textile industry shortage. So again, you can see here there is a to and fro which is going on. Sometimes government will bring cotton in import duty, sometimes they will take away that based on demand and supply. Farmers are not happy. Indian farmers, obviously you will not be happy. You will want a stability in policy, you won't want this constant to and fro, that sometimes government is imposing tax, import duty, sometimes they are not. They're like, whatever you are doing, bro, do it on a consistent basis. Government is like, economy is not consistent, bro, it's always in a flux, so we have to do according to the winds, like whatever is happening in Indian economy. So cotton imports surged 579. You can see the data here. You don't have GS mains paper 3. It is also important from geography perspective, GS mains paper 1. So paper 3, paper 1, both. From both perspectives, this is important. We'll solve one mains question and multiple pre-questions based on this. Cotton. Tell me in the comment section which kind of crop it is. Is it a Kharif crop or is it a Rabi crop? Oh my God. What is it? Kharif or Rabi? Okay, so current situation, what is happening right now? This bale is a unit of cotton measurement. So just remember, they can give you cotton is measured in this and that. So bale is a unit. So domestic production 294, requirement 318. Again, our domestic production is lesser than requirement, and that's why government has suspended the import duty. Hope you're understanding this thing. Imports likely at 40 lakh bales, and it will be coming from these countries. CCI, as we have discussed, CCI headquarter Mumbai, their main work is not to regulate this import and export. Their main work is to ensure, as we have just discussed, if the prices of cotton fall below MSP, they will buy those cottons from farmer at MSP, so that there is no such, farmer grievances or farmer, they are not feeling the pinch of decline in prices. So this is the major work of Cotton Corporation of India. Keep it in mind. Sometimes they will give you the major work of Cotton Corporation of India is to regulate import and export. No, it is not. Their major work is to ensure that farmers, there is not much farmers grievances, and they are purchasing farmers cotton at MSP. Already a UPSC PYQ has been asked on it. Cotton is Kharif crops. A very good GYN. So I have also, I think in the previous videos, if you have seen, I've given you mnemonic for Rabi and Kharif crop. We will do that again. So again, for 2025-6 season, you can have a look at this. Government has hiked MSP by 8%. So government is trying to balance both these things. Farmers' grievances, that why there is to and fro import duty and this and that. So to counter that, government has hiked MSP. To counter the means production and demand gap, government plays with import duty. So again, it's not very easy. We can always criticize government one way or the other, but you have to always understand that you cannot make everyone happy when it comes to Indian economy. There will be so much flux. So there are so many things which are going on at the same time. So international brands, now we are trying to understand why there is so much imported cotton rather. So international brands, they prefer imported cotton. Exporters gain a level playing field. Farmers oppose removal of this import duty, because again, if import duty is removed, more and more cotton import will come from outside. Nobody will buy their produce. So that is what they are saying. But you can also understand government's rationale. They have to keep a tab on the demand and the supply part. So long-term solution. Now here again, there will be certain keywords which we have to understand from exam perspective, which are very important. So stable policy, suspend duty. They are saying that government is playing this to and fro catch, import duty, suspension, this and that. So they are saying that suspend duty. You suspend import duty during the non-peak season when farmer has already sold their produce. So then farmers will not be impacted if import duty is not there. So this is the first part. Remove import duty during that period when farmers have already sold their cotton, so that when import duty is removed, more and more cotton import is coming to the country. Our domestic farmers, since they have already sold their produce, they will not be impacted. So in between, so much buffering again. I can see myself. So Jivayan is saying there is buffering. I am not seeing any buffering on my phone. Other people, can you confirm? Is there buffering or not? And please do it fast so that there is not such these kind of gaps. Rishi, Bulbul, Anandu, and other people. Now it's good. So Jivan is saying now it's good. I did not see any buffering at any point of time. Okay, it would have been in your scenario. But Rishi, Anandu, anybody? Am I audible? Am I visible? Can I continue? Please, 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 sir. It breaks concentration. So you people have to. Okay, now it's fine. So again, let's focus on what we were discussing. So we are talking about the duty withdrawal, why it is happening, and what are the long-term solution. So stable policy, suspend duty every year during. Just give me a second. Let me check what is the strength. Excellent connection is there, and we are fine. Excellent connection. Oh my god. Okay. So let's continue. So stable policy. Hope you understood the first point. What is the point here? Suspend duty every year during the non-peak season when farmers have sold their produce. And then the second point, this is again very interesting. This is again, we have to understand this particular point. Interest subvention. So let's say you have something known as CCI, Cotton Corporation of India. They will buy farmers' produce when the price of cotton has fallen below MSP, but they cannot buy all. So there is something known as textile mills who are buying these cottons, right? And textile mills, they are in somewhat distress. They need a lot of capital, so they are taking loans. In that particular loan, if government gives them 5% interest support, so let's say they are taking loan at 8%, and government is giving them interest subvention of 5%. That means these textile means they have to only pay. Good morning, Anandu. And again, people, yes, do tell these things whenever you face issue. Yesterday I also faced issue in my phone when the buffering was happening. Today my side is totally clear. So yeah, cool. So let's focus. Let's focus. Let's focus. So interest subvention, when you're giving it to these textile mills, then they can buy, in a more easier manner, domestic cotton from the farmers, which in a way reduce the distress of these cotton producing farmers. So interest subvention is one way to go, where government can incentivize these textile mills and thereby reducing pressure on themselves as well when it comes to buying cotton at MSP by CCI. So these are some points which you have to keep in mind. So again, Anandu, Jivayan, and other people, Rishi, Bulbul, and all you wish is on the way. Your name is very long, yeah. Did you people understand what we are discussing here? Am I clear? Are you understanding the scenarios plaguing our cotton sector, the issues, the problems, the solutions, and we'll solve one mains question also. Chipandis fast. Am I clear? Am I clear? Am I clear? Who decides MSP, minimum support price, given on 20 plus crops? CACP UPSC has already asked a PYQ on it, solve it. Cool. And cabinet commission, so they recommend, they do not implement it. Who takes the final decision? Sometimes they will change it. That CACP, they take the final decision. That is wrong. CCEA, they take the final decision. Prime Minister's office, chaired by Prime Minister, they are taking the final decision. CCEA is taking the final decision. So there is a difference between who recommends and who actually implements. Then comes the Kharif and Rabi mnemonic. I have already told you, UPSC has already asked multiple questions on which of the following are Kharif crops, which of the following are means Rabi crops. So you have to remember Kharif crops. The mnemonic is Kubama ki tujori. Oh my God. And Rabi crop, and pay attention to the capital words here. So cotton, bajra, maize, tur, jowar, and rice. So Kharif to Kubama ki tujori. And Rabi crops, the mnemonic is Viva gram. Viva gram. Oh my God. So wheat, barley, gram, rapeseed, and mustard. This will help you a lot in eliminating. Very good, Charita. Charita is such a good girl. There was a movie, Chiruta. So now let's say this is a question for you, a mains question. We'll solve some pre-specific questions as well, PYQs as well. So this is the question. Cotton sector in India is facing a deep crisis with falling production, rising import and policy uncertainty. Discuss the causes of this crisis and suggest long-term solutions. So what will you write here? What will be your, how will you approach this particular question? Any input? Hope you can see this particular question. So again, you people can write your answer in the comment section, in the chat section. In the meantime, let me tell you how you will approach this question, how you approach mains question. When you have a 15 marker, you have 10 minutes to write this particular answer. Cotton sector facing a deep crisis. So this is one part. You have to focus on this part, first part. What deep crisis? The production is lesser than the demand more often than not. Why that is happening? International brands, they are preferring imported cotton. Rising import policy uncertainty. What is this policy uncertainty? Sometimes import duty is imposed, sometimes import duty is waived off. Causes. What are the causes? Rising cost prices of raw material, high demand of imported cotton. Then the crisis with textile means they don't have enough capital. You will focus on all these causes. Then the long-term solution. This import duty solution, or waive off import duty during a non-peak season, as we have just discussed. If you go back, you will understand what we are discussing here. And water problem also, very good, Charita. So it requires water. It is grown in such area which is water or drought prone region, Marathwada, etc. So that is one thing. So long-term solution, remove import duty during non-peak time, interest subvention. So all these things you have to talk about in the long-term solution. Water problem, as stated by Charita, lack of infrastructure. So all these things you can use here. And again, if you have any other points, you can include it here as well. So again, whenever you are approaching any mains question, GYM, introduction after in body, we discussed deep crisis, meaning cause and present solution. Yes. So you will have an intro, you will have a body, you will have a conclusion. So many people I have again asked, like discussed this multiple times, intro and conclusion. They have so much doubts that can we skip intro and conclusion, because when you are writing mains for 3 hours, 20 questions, you have so much time positive. Even if possible, write one line intro, one line conclusion. Conclusion gives closure. And I have given an example. If your girlfriend runs away without telling you anything, or boyfriend runs away, you don't get the closure. We all need closure. Similarly, mains answer, they also need closure. Mandi's middleman intervention. Oh my God, Charita is such a good girl. Who's a good girl? Charita is a good girl. Let's focus. Causes declining production, import dependence, policy instability, as we have discussed. What is this policy instability? Import duty sometimes imposed, sometimes waived off, rising costs, farmers concerned. Textile means they're not buying the produce from cotton. Cotton Corporation of India, they can procure, but how much? There is a limit. Import duty withdrawn, temporarily long-term solution, stable policy. This import duty, if it has to be waived off, farmers should know when it will be waived off and it will be imposed. There should not be such uncertainty. Lack of price information to farmers. Very good, Charita. Credit support, interest subvention thing to take care of textile mills concern, to reduce burden on CCI as well, enhance productivity, diversification. So all these things you will write, and then the conclusion part, have a look at it. Let's solve some question. PYQ1, first question of the day, asked by UPSC in 2013. And if you like this video, share it, subscribe it, spread it far and wide. So consider the following crops. Which of these are Rabi crops? The Kharif crops rather they're asking. Cotton, groundnut, rice and wheat. Chapandi is fast. I've given you the mnemonic for, and many of you already know that particular mnemonic. Rishi has given the answer. Rishi, don't be a brahmachari, bro. Adopt, like, discard chastity or celibacy. Become a normal human being. So, Kharif crops, we have just, Rishi and Charita, they have given the answer. Kharif crops, we have seen the mnemonic. The mnemonic was Kubama Ki Tujori. Oh my God. So cotton, bajra, maize, tur, jowar, rice. So cotton is a kharif crop. Do option elimination. Always do OE in UPSC question. So if cotton is a kharif crop, you will eliminate uh, options not having cotton. Now you're left with A and C. Cotton, and then we know wheat is a rabi crop. It's a famous rabi crop. Rice has to be a kharif crop. So the answer is C. 1, 2, and 3 only, as stated by Rishi, Charita, Anandu, Jivayan. Very good. MCQ 2. Cotton Corporation of India was set up with which of the following primary objectives? To regulate the import and export of cotton in India, to ensure procurement of cotton at MSP, to provide insurance to cotton farmers against crop failure, and to promote organic cotton cultivation in India. What is the basic purpose? So GYM, he has given the answer, Charita has given the answer. I have told you, CCI, headquartered in Mumbai, their main purpose is not import and export. Their main purpose is this: ensure procurement of cotton and like MSP and stabilize cotton prices. This is their main work. The answer is B. Cool. Let's move on to the next article of the day, page 6 editorial, the gender angle to India's economic vulnerability. So now USA, Donald Trump, they have imposed tariff, and according to Anurodh Lalit Jain, who is a vice chairman and again whatever a social economic analyst, he's saying that the sectors which will be impacted by the tariff, imposed, will be those sectors where women are employed in a larger number. Anyway, when it comes to women LFPR, labor force participation rate, it's very low. Our female labor force participation rate is around 37 to 41%, which is far less than the global average in China's 60%. Now we have to understand these terms. What is labor force participation rate? So labor force participation rate in general is people who are working or willing to work. Please understand, in labor force participation rate, it's not only about who are working, we also include people who are willing to work, and this is one thing which you have to keep in mind. So who has answered the previous question? Jivayan, Charita, Rishi and Anand. Very good. So willing to work. If you can see here in India, the female population who are working or willing to work is less than 40, means 42%. So it's like female people, and if it say in crude terms, 58% women, they don't even want to work. And that's actually a sad thing. You should be working or willing to work. It's the ambit of LFPR, labor force participation rate, is very big. But 58%, more than 50% female population, they don't want to work. We have to increase this. And now let's see why we are reading this particular editorial. So India's economy, you see all these things. Propose 50% US tariff, cut nearly 1% of India's GDP. And that's why you can understand why India and China are coming closer. This is not a small issue. India and China. In China is an enemy country of ours. So there has to be something drastic which has happened, because of which India and China, they are trying to come close to each other. This is the drastic scenario. This tariff would cut nearly 1% of India's GDP, and that's actually a huge number. The sectors which they are impacting, all major employers of women. Anyway, our labor force participation rate when it comes to female is very less when it comes to global average. So we have to look into it, because what International Monetary Fund is saying, Closing this gender gap would boost India's GDP by not 1-2%, 27%. So these are all very big numbers. Hope you are understanding why we are reading this particular editorial. India labor intensive industry. Very good. They will do research and write these news, sir. Exactly. So demographic dividend. Now again, UPSC has already asked PYQs on demographic dividend. And what is demographic dividend? Population in the age group of 15 to 64. And author of this editorial, they are saying that we are nearing the peak by 2045. The youth population of our country, they will be becoming old. See, the dashing personality which Charita, Anandu, or Rishi are, Jivayan are, or Bulbul are, they will not always be dashing. Okay, you will be dashing, but you will be old dashing, not the young dashing which you are right now. So our young population will become old. So we have only till 2045 to tap this demographic dividend. And that's what this editorial is talking about. We have to integrate women into workforce. They should at least be willing to work. Even if they're not working, we have to increase that willing to work criteria, which is very important. Rural women's participation is rising, but we all know where these people are, where these women are working in these unpaid low farmers work. So urban women, they face stagnation, safety concern, etc. India is still one of the most unsafe countries in the world when it comes to women's security, with due respect. And India may follow southern Europe. You can see here the things which are happening in India. It has happened in Italy, Greece, and these countries where low female labor force participation rate has hurt their long-term growth. But we can learn from certain countries. And what are those countries? USC, women mobilized with equal pay. China, 60% FL female labor force participation rate. State care, child care. Again, Japan. So we have to learn not from Italy and Greece. We have to learn from US, China, Japan, and Netherlands. That's what this particular editorial is talking about. And again, why this whole article is important? Because GS Mains paper 3, there you have inclusive growth. Inclusive growth. I think topic 2 or 3 is inclusive growth. Growth of all sections of society, leaving no one behind. And that's why this particular article becomes very important. So see here, not only outside India, even inside India, we can learn from different states and their schemes. Karnataka Shakti scheme, free bus travel, that can remind you of Arvind Kejriwal sir. Urban company, it's a platform, and women are working there, earning around 18K to 25K, which is actually a good number. Rajasthan's Indira Gandhi Urban Employment Guarantee Scheme. So these schemes you will write in your gig workers, we can call them exactly. So you can see here, these schemes like outside India, different countries. Inside India, Karnataka, Rajasthan, urban company. And these people are doing good and we can learn from them. These populist welfare measures, etc. You can read all these things. I'm not going and reading all the words. I will tell you what are the things which are important from exam perspective. US tariff expose India's internal weakness, and we have to focus on our female workforce participation. And the major question, why they are not willing to work. Safety concern, security concern, transportation concern, infrastructure concern, all these things have to be taken care of. And that's what this editorial is focusing on. Let's solve third question of the day. Shram Shri scheme in West Bengal. Very good, Charita. So PYQ 3, UPSC 2013, to obtain full benefits of demographic dividend, what should India do? Promote skill development, introduce more social security scheme, reduce infant mortality rate, privatization of higher education. Chepandi is fast. Cheppu తెలుసు లేదు కాదు. Jivayana has given the answer. If you want to obtain full benefits of demographic dividend, India has to promote skill development, demographic dividend, 15 to 64 years. The answer is A, as stated by Jivayan, Charita, Anandu. PYQ 4, asked by UPSC in 2011. So India is regarded as a country with demographic dividend. This is due to as, and whenever you're writing the answer of any question, do write the question number, which question you're talking about. So Anandu has given the answer. Charita has written B, but I think she has written B for question number 4. So demographic dividend, high population in the age group of 15 to 64 years. That means people are, these days people are like, oh my god, I'll be retiring at 40, I'll be retiring at 50. Bro, till 64 you are young. So retire at 64, you know? Cool. So Charita Anandu, 4B sir I gave. Cool. G Vayana. MCQ 5. In the context of India's labor market, female labor force participation rate refers to what? Very good, Rishi. Birthday boy. So what is FLFPR? Share of women employed in organized sector only, share of working age women 15 years and above who are employed or actively seeking employment, percentage women enrolled in technical and vocational education, women, number of women working in manufacturing as percentage of. So Charita, Rishi, you have given the answer. Working age population not only employed but even actively seeking employment, and in India it is between 37 to 41.7%, which is actually a worrying number, and we have to take care of that. This is the thing, Jivan. FLFPR, share of working age women who are employed or seeking employment. Again, if you like this video, share it, subscribe it. We have to reach 1 lakh subscriber by 20th August 2026. Let's see if we can do that. And I have to keep on doing Hindu every day, Monday to Saturday at 8 a.m. or even before that. And you can understand, I can tell you that I will do Hindu Monday to Saturday every day at 10 a.m, but I have to, run my family, do all these things. I have left a job, I am starting or restarting my YouTube channel. So if money doesn't come, if I'm not even able to sustain myself, I have to stop it. I have to join some other institution, which I so don't want to do right now. And that's why I have to charge you something. Hope you're understanding why I'm charging Hindu analysis PDF. And there is a reason for it. Also, personalized mentorship program. In personalized mentorship program, this Hindu analysis PDF is included. Many people were asking me the price. The price is 4,999, and this is not 1 year, 2 year. Till the time you crack UPSC CSE, you will be a part of my mentorship. I'll be your mentor till your UPSC journey. Again, you can see all the details here. Let's move on. Again, you can donate also, because this is a crucial period. Even if donation does not happen, I will take loan, but I will continue at least for next 1 year, even beyond that. So page 12, center finalizes national designated authority to kickstart carbon market, NDA. Now what is this NDA, and what is the basic premise of this NDA? So national designated authority, they have been set because they have to implement certain provisions of UNFCCC Paris Agreement. Now, these things are very important. Environment anyway is very important, which you have to understand. So, what is the basic gist here? There will be certain terms which are important from exam perspective, like carbon emission trading regime, India's NDC, nationally determined contribution, India's target, what is a carbon sink, and what are different types of carbon sink, Paris Agreement, what are the basic clauses under Paris Agreement. So, again, an important article from exam perspective. So Ministry of Environment, MOFCC, they have announced the creation of NDA, National Designated Authority. It's not National Democratic Alliance. Oh my God, maybe they have played with the words here. So again, NDA. 2015 Paris Agreement enabling a carbon emission trading regime. Now this is a term. Sometimes UPSC directly asks questions from term. What is the basic meaning of a particular term? So what is carbon emission trading regime? So let's say there is Charita, and Charita has watched a movie called Chiruta. So Chiruta is a movie of a South actor. Neha Sharma was the heroine, or the actress. Oh my God, heroine. The actor was Ram, I think. Ram Charan. So Chiruta. So Charita has watched a movie called Chiruta, and after that she has decided to set up an industry. She got so inspired by Ram Charan's acting in Chiruta movie, which has no logic. So she set up an industry A. some other, let's say I am Shubh, I set up an industry B. And now we are both under carbon emission Ramcharan, carbon emission trading regime. So A and B. So now, and government has set up a target for both of us that A can emit 100 units, B can also emit 100 units. It can be different based on which industry we are setting up our factory. So let's say I only used 80 units of carbon and Charita used 120 units. Then Charita can buy my 20 units. I did not use my 20 units, she can buy it. This is carbon emission trading regime where we can trade our carbon certificates, and this will keep a tab on how much carbon we are emitting, and this will also keep a tab on the target set by government and how much we are adhering to it. So carbon emission trading regime. You have to understand these words. Purchasing carbon emission from low emission industry is very good. Charita is such a good girl and Shiruta is her favorite movie. So Paris Agreement Article 6 define rules for, you can read this thing. So Paris Agreement 2015 and this whole emission trading market mechanism and who will implement it, approved in COP 29 at Baku. All these COP stands for Conference of Parties. And I keep on telling you people about these COPs. Rio Summit 1992, Agenda 21, it is also known as, because it was discussing agenda of 21st century via this. Three organizations came into picture sooner rather than later. One is UNFCCC, other is UNCBD, and third is UNCCD. So United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, United Nations Convention on Biological Diversity, United Nations Convention to combat desertification. Under that, UNFCCC is the most important. All of them have COP, Conference of Parties. They meet annually or biennially based on their protocols and all. So, but do remember COP. So it's not like whenever we are saying COP, it is always adhering to UNFCCC in the Paris Agreement. COP also happens under UNCBD and UNCCD. So be very wary of all these points. They are important. So here, when we're talking about COP 29, we're talking about COP 29 of UNFCCC and their Paris. Means Paris Agreement is not COP 29. It was COP 21, if I'm not wrong. So in COP 29, this whole emission trading thing was finalized. And NDA was made compulsory, which will look into this, how this trading mechanism is happening and how companies are sharing their trade certificates. And again, you can have a look at all these things, responsibilities, national sustainable growth, blah blah blah. India's NDC. Now in this Paris Agreement of 2015, everybody has to make a commitment. Like when you get married, you people commit to each other that you will practice monogamy. Oh my god. But as Sapiens says, there is a book which is known as Sapiens. Sapiens says that monogamy is highly overrated, or people were not meant to be monogamous. It is not explicitly saying that, but again they are giving some hints about it, how it has been. Like, you should not be trusting something upon people, but that's what happens. Okay, let's focus. We have deviated from the topic. So Paris Agreement, people made some agreement or some commitments which were NDCs, nationally determined contributions. So India also made some commitments. What commitments? We have to remember these targets. They are very important. Now again, there will be terms. What is emission intensity of GDP? What is the basic meaning here? What is carbon sink? India will become net, or India will have net zero emission by which particular year? 2070. Net zero means, let's say we are emitting 20 unit carbon, so we will create carbon sink which will absorb that 20 unit. So all in all, we'll be emitting 0 unit of carbon. So all these things are very important, or these things we have to keep in mind. So emission intensity of GDP means what? Let's say we are having 5 units of GDP. So when we are producing 5 units of GDP, let's say again we are emitting 10 units of CO2, whatever be their measurement of unit. So here we will be dividing, let's say 10 units of GDP, how much carbon we are producing. And when we are dividing this, we are getting emission intensity of GDP, and we have to reduce it by 45%. That's it. You don't need to do PhD here. They are anyway very, very technical in nature. So these facts, these targets, they are very important, both from pre as well as mains perspective. In mains, they will ask you about NDCs, India's commitment. You have to write this, and in pre, they can change these numbers. 45% reduction in emission intensity by 2030, 50% of power generation from non-fossil fuel sources by 2030. So these years, what is our target? All these things are important. Additional carbon sink, which will absorb carbon. Like you have forest, you have oceans, they absorb carbon. So we have to create those We can do afforestation. We can create more carbon sink, 2.5 to 3 billion tons CO2 equivalent by 2030. So sometimes they can also give you that we have to do net zero by 2030 because there is so much 2030 involved here. No, we have to do net zero carbon emission by 2070, and this is what you have to keep in mind. So Paris Agreement adopted at 21st COP, and obviously in Paris, signed by 195 countries, first universal legally. All countries signed it because we realized that if our earth keeps getting warmer and warmer, islands will be submerged, coastal areas will be submerged, and we'll be doomed. Oh my god. So that's why we have to reduce our global warming temperature. Let's say, what is this ever pre-industrial level? 12 below 2 degrees Celsius ever pre-industrial level. Pre-industrial level, industrial revolution. First industrial revolution, 1760 to 1840. So let's say in 1840, our average global temperature was 18 degrees Celsius. So now if you see current, our global temperature, Earth's temperature, it will be around 19.5, 19.2, and it is increasing. And we have to limit it to well below 2 degrees Celsius above. It should not increase beyond 20 degrees Celsius, otherwise we'll be doomed. Okay, so again, pure pursuit, if it's, again, you can have a look at this. All these are targets, well-known targets. Let's solve some questions. Carbon sink. Chepandis, bros. Now, this is a tricky question. Take your time. Don't be Chepandis. Don't do fast. So, carbon sink, forest, ocean, and soil act as natural carbon sink. India is committed to create. Now, these are numbers. We have talked about India's NDC. Afforestation and reforestation are only carbon sinks. Charita, Chiruta. There are so many good songs in that movie, Chiruta. I will give you a gossip here. So I was seeing some Google News. So they said that during Chiruta, Ram Charan and Neha got closure, and because of which Ram Charan and Allu Arjun were not talking because Allu Arjun also liked Neha Sharma. Oh my God. This is such a big gossip. Let's focus. Whenever there is such word like only carbon sink, be very mindful. Very mindful. You have seen UPSC PYQs. Will keep on having or solving UPSC PYQs. Whenever there is only, your ear should be up. Like, oh my God, only. It has very high probability of being wrong. Afforestation, reforestation are not only carbon sinks. I've told you, oceans. They are also carbon sinks. So third is wrong. If third is wrong, the answer is A1 and 2 only. As stated by Charita, Rishi, Jahanabad, Kanpur Nagar. Oh my God, Jiva. Now, what are you people doing? Some people call me Cherry. Okay, let's focus, bros. So answer is A. Good question, tricky question. MCQ 7. No issues. Doubted about third option. Yeah, third option was only, and that's why it was wrong. But hope you understood, GY. So, which of the following are part of India's NDCs under Paris Agreement? Reduce GDP emission intensity by 45% by 2030, achieve 50% electric power. Have a look at this. Do option elimination. If you are confused, always go for option elimination. Oi. There are four statements here. UPSC started giving a lot of options, a lot of statements. So, you should be very wary. So, Charita has given the answer. Rishi has given the answer. Now, let's say we are confused because there are so many data. So, we are confused in these options. But let's see the fourth option. We just discussed net zero target not by 2050 but by 2070. So we know for sure fourth is wrong. If you just do option elimination, you are getting the answer. That is A, 1, 2, and 3 only. Very good. Again, tricky question, but option elimination can help you. Page number 6, again an editorial. False righteousness. Righteousness. Here there will be different terms. Judicial activism, judicial, first of all, judicial review, then judicial activism, and then judicial overreach. So what has happened? Supreme Court has said that, social media, there should be a regulation of speech on social media, and they're asking union government that keep a tab on what people are saying on social media. Now, person who has written this particular editorial, this is the second editorial we are discussing today, who has written this editorial, he's saying that, dude, quote, you are doing judicial overreach. Now, first of all, let's try to understand these words: judicial review, judicial activism, judicial overreach. Judicial review is what? The power of judiciary to review the constitutionality of laws and executive order. Like there was a Shreya Singhal case, Shreya Singhal versus Union of India, where Supreme Court struck down certain portions of IT Act because it was impinging upon right to freedom of speech and expression. Then judicial activism is what? It is thrusted upon judiciary due to non-functioning of legislature and executive, where they are going beyond the basic judicial review, like your Keshwanand Bharti case. Basic structure. This basic structure was not there in the original constitution. It came via Keshwanand Bharti case. So this is judicial activism, or PIL, public interest litigation. Again, this is judicial activism. Then judicial overreach, it has negative connotation. Judicial activism has positive connotation. If legislature and executive, they are not working, somebody has to work, and that work is being done by judiciary. In judicial overreach, which has a negative connotation, something, like there is a Shyam Narayan Choksi case, national anthem case, national highway case. So there was a national anthem case, Choksi case. Like when you're going and watching a movie, you have to stand up and sing national anthem. Why? This is your way of showing patriotism. See, when I'm paying my taxes, I'm showing patriotism. When I am, like, there are different ways of showing patriotism. Let's say there is some guy, let's say Rishi. Rishi is a Ajivan Brahmacharya, but let's say some friends of Rishi, they took him to watch a movie of Sunny Leone, who is a very famous actress. I know you people don't know about her. So Rishi is watching Sunny Leone movie, and before that he is doing national anthem. He's not in the mood to do national anthem. He's in the mood to enjoy that movie. So I hope you're understanding how this is not the work of judiciary. This is the work of legislature to make laws. Judiciary can just check constitutionality of laws and executive order. Then there is national, like there was a national highway case, a national state highway within 20 meters of this and that. Liquor shops will not be there. Why is judiciary deciding where liquor shops will be there? Isn't this the work of legislature or executive? So this is judicial overreach, which has negative connotation. Hope Rishi did not mind me. Rishi, do you watch movies, Rishi? Rishi, who is your favorite actress? So let's focus here. Similarly, here the author of this editorial, they are saying that when court is saying executive to regulate speech on social media, our current executive is anyway very super active when it comes to regulating speech on social media. I will give you one example. There was a movie which was made in 2010s, which was known as Heather. And they showed so many things. Many people feel a movie like Heather cannot be made today. The environment is so charged. Even we people, we have to think so much before saying things. So there is already a regulation of speech. I don't have to go very far. Yesterday only, we were talking about Central Information Commissioner and how Delhi University, they are not divulging educational qualification of a leader. There also, when I asked your opinion, you people were very silent. Many of you were scared, I guess. I don't know. So there is already regulation of speech on social media, and that's why the author is saying that Supreme Court is doing judicial overreach, and this is a problematic trend. This expands executive authority, who is already very much active and who is already weaponizing existing limit. When it comes to press freedom index and all these things, we are topping from the bottom. Anyway, our press is compromised. These days, people are watching news on YouTube and all because they have lost their faith in these general, we call it Godi media, although I don't call it anything. So what the author is saying that we have to be very, very wary. Supreme Court has to be very wary when they are talking about all these things. They can go to judicial overreach. Again, leaving aside the political connotation of this editorial, hope you understood the basic meaning of judicial review, judicial activism, and judicial overreach. These three terms are actually very important. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitaraman. No. She's not an actress. Oh my God. Okay, I can understand where you're going with this, Rishi. So again, consequences of expanded state power and whether it will be filmmakers and journalists already face censorship pressure and FIRs for professional work and all. So it's already very. I have seen it in railway stations and in I have personally seen it in a coach. I was in, I think, Rajdhani or something. So I in third, I don't know. There was a person who was like, "Bolo Radhe Radhe." You have to say Radhe Radhe, bro. I I may or may not want to say Radhe Radhe all the time. So I'm a Hindu. Hope you're understanding. There is already so much things going on regarding this, and according to the author of this editorial, means Supreme Court is lighting a fire. They should not do that, and they should be very wary of what they are trying to say. Cool. So again, you can read all these things. I'm not reading it, and they are saying that it has been already criminalized. Hate speech and speech inciting violence against minorities. All these things have already been criminalized, and things are already in place. Let's not. There was some Kunal Kamara and all those people. These is even if you are saying humor and all those stuff, you can be put behind bars and all. And yeah, so author of this editorial is not very happy with the Supreme Court directive. Let's see this whole thing. Let's see MCQ 8, Right to Information Act. Very good, Charita. Second ARC Commission. Only Sri Devi only. Oh my God, Rishi, you are seriously a brahmacharya, bro. You only know Sri Devi as an actress. Which of the following best explains the criticism of judiciary stance on regulating social media speech? It fails to address concern of marginalized groups. It misperceives its institutional role by supporting executive overreach. It encourages total deregulation. Use option elimination. It will help you in solving this question. So Charita, Jiva, and Rishi, they have given the answer. The answer is B. Page number 12, Adi Karm Yogi initiative to put tribal change leaders or through their paces at village level. So this Adi Karm Yogi initiative, under they can give you different ministries. It lies under this ministry and that ministry. It lies under Ministry of Tribal Affairs, right? And what is their basic purpose? See, the basic purpose is in involving communities, tribal people coming together and solving their own issues. And this particular Adi Karm Yogi initiative is run under Dharti Aba Janjatiya Gram Utkarsh Abhiyan. Good morning, Liliana. Dharti Aba Janjatiya Gram Utkarsh Abhiyan. So please remember this. We have in the previous Hindu analysis, some of which I have done on other channel. We have talked about Dharti Aba Janjatiya Gram Utkarsh Abhiyan, which was launched in 2024, which is an umbrella scheme when it comes to implementation of schemes related to tribal people, and launched on I think 2nd October 2024. And ministry has given approval in September 2024 only, but it was formally launched on 2nd October 2024. Dharti Aba Janjatiya Gram Utkarsh Abhiyan. Under this particular Dharti Aba scheme, we have Adi Karm Yogi, where tribal people will come together and they will solve their issues. Again, launched by Tribal Affairs Ministry. They can give you that it is launched by this ministry and that ministry. You have to remember it. Safai Karmchari. That is a different thing. That is about manual scavengers, Sharita. So Dharti Aba Janjati Gram Utkarsh Abhiyan. Do remember the launch here. Create a cadre of 20 lakh change leaders. What is the approach? You see, people are coming, participatory problem solving. You come together, tribal people, and you solve your own issues. Solutions come from within. Don't dwell on problems, initiate action, turn challenges. So again, from exam perspective, what are the things which are important? Adi Karm Yogi comes under which particular scheme, launched by which particular ministry, what is the basic rationale here, and they will be implemented at different levels. You can have a look at this. Village vision. Each of 1 lakh target villages will prepare a village vision document and how they will come together and solve their own issues. Adi Seva Kendra. Again, you read these things. I'm not reading. I have told you the basic premise of this particular article. And the thing which is important is Dharti Aba Janjatiya Gram Utkarsh Abhiyan, launched in 2024. And Dharti Aba is the title for Birsa Munda. Very important. Very, 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 very important. They can ask you this. Dharti Aba is a title for, Rani Gaidan Liu or something like that. They can write Sidho Kanu, title for Birsa Munda, Munda Rebellion. And which particular rebellion is also known as Ulgulan? UPSC has already asked a PYQ on Ulgulan. If you know it, post it in the comment section. So, Dharti Aba, the name is for, given in respect to Birsa Munda. In short, last mile, you can read all these things. Participatory development. Tribal people, if they want to, like when you will read post-independent India, you will also read about different types of approach when it comes to dealing with tribal people, isolation approach, assimilation approach. So in a way, this is an example of assimilation approach. When tribal people, they have to come together, promote participatory development, and this whole, Dharti Aba Janjati Gram Utkarsh Abhiyan tries to do exactly that. Let's solve this MCQ 9. In Nasik, Ulgulan. Ulgulan, this is not the answer I'm looking for, Jivayan. What is this? Consider the following statement about Adi Karm Yogi initiative. So Charita, Jivayan, Rishi, they have given the answer of this question. They have tried the answer. And Charita, Jivayan, Rishi, Judiana. Very good. Santhal Rebellion. Okay. So, Adi Karmi Yogi, you people tried it. Let's see another question. MCQ 10. Consider the following statement about Dharti Aba Janjatiya Gram Utkarsh Abhiyan. So, what is the answer? Officially launched 2nd October program, received Union Cabinet approval. Dharti Aba refers to Birsa Munda. How many of the above statements are correct? Which of the above statement is or are correct? Chapandis. Oh my god, nobody answered it. So think about it, answer it in the comment section. I will discuss the answer of 9 and 10 tomorrow. Like, share, and subscribe. Spread it. We have to reach 1 lakh subscribers. You people will make it happen. Spread the word. How good am I? Oh my god. Okay, good. So yeah, and you can join my Telegram family. All the debates discussion happens there in this Telegram channel, Fun Study with Shubh. You can raise your doubts, queries there. You can post your score out of 10, like 10 questions, 2 were homeworks or 2 are homework. How many you answered out of? So 8, Charita and Rishi. You have, like, you can post your score out of 8, how many you got correct. I have told you Hindu analysis PDF. You can get it. What is the meaning of 9 per day and 199 per month? Let's say you are watching and you want PDF of today only, so rupees 9. And if you want PDF for, let's say, sir, I am giving you money today, from today till next month I want PDF, so this is 199 per month, and you can pay on this number. You can have a look at this. After paying, you can contact me. And same process for mentorship also. Mentorship, there is no time limit, and it involves anything and everything under the sun. It varies from people to people, and there is anything you want from me, I'll be there for you. It's just like I am there for you whenever you need me. 4999. Here you don't have to pay for Hindu analysis PDF. Hindu analysis PDFs are included in this mentorship program. Cool, sir. And that's it from me. You can also donate. That will also help. Every single contribution matters. So thank you, everyone, and thank you, Rishi, thank you, Jivayan, thank you, Charita, thank you, other people. I will see you people tomorrow at 8 a.m. And I'm thinking, maybe from September, I don't know, let's reduce this timing to 7:30, but without compromising the quality. So let's see, when I do this Hindu analysis at 7:30 a.m., that is the aim, but right now we'll stick to 8 a.m. every day. So, yep. I am going now. Take care. We will just give me a second. So, sir and ma'am, bye bye.